The University of North Texas has revoked the visas of 27 international students.
And even though the tariffs have been paused, could we still feel the effects?
And a new store is coming to Denton in time for Easter.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm India Edwards.
And I'm Krista Adams. In a surprise move, the Department of Homeland Security has revoked the visas of 27 University of North Texas students. Public word of the government action against these students came yesterday afternoon during a UNT Faculty Senate meeting. ntTV spoke with Professor William Joyner, Vice Chair of the Faculty Senate, who made the announcement.
Over the past weekend, I received an inquiry from another Faculty Senate member asking if we knew if any UNT international students had had their student visas revoked. I consulted with the Faculty Senate Chair, Kobe Condry, and we agreed that I would ask the President and the Provost this question via email on Monday morning. The email went out at 8 a.m. and I received a response from the Provost just before 1 p.m. He said in his email that 16 UNT international students had had their visas revoked by the Department of Homeland Security.
The number has since been updated as late yesterday evening. The UNT administration told ntTV News that 27 students have been affected. 8 are undergraduate students and 19 are graduate students. The school says they are monitoring the immigration status of our international students, but to date, only 27 have been affected. There is no clear information as to why the visas of these students were revoked, and ntTV is continuing to follow the story. UNT is not alone in this situation. Several other colleges nationwide are reporting similar events occurring on their campuses. This all comes as the Trump administration takes aim at hundreds of foreign-born college students.
After weeks of investigations, the Department of Education is now putting a pause on a policy from the Trump administration that centers around punishing schools that take race into consideration for their programs. According to court filings from just yesterday, this hold on investigation and enforcements from the policy will extend for a two-week period. This means that during the period, the Trump administration will not be able to threaten to withhold federal funding from schools who have DEI programs, or if the topic of race becomes a factor in student life on campus. UNT is one of the schools which have already been investigated by the DOE.
The school year is almost over, but there is an intense focus on keeping Texas schools safe for some districts. That includes drones that would be able to stop a school shooter. A company out of Austin called Campus Guardian Angel is trying to put its remote control drones in schools across the state. A demo video says these drones can identify an armed intruder from a distance and distract them until people can arrive. The company gave a demonstration this week for the Highland Park and School District near Dallas. Other schools are already taking advantage of the technology.
Having a drone that is a whole lot more replaceable than one of my officers going around a corner and seeing that danger and us being able to be prepared to respond to that danger before we go around that corner is a lot safer than it is when the way we have to do it without drones.
Campus Guardian Angel sells a box of 6 drones for $15,000. School districts could pay for them with the money from a recent state law that helps them pay for security upgrades.
I've really been enjoying this warm weather lately. I'm so glad those pretty bad storms we had last week are finally gone.
I'm right there with you, India, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. See what the weather holds for us in this coming week. Let's toss it over to Emma Burns for more insight. Emma?
Yeah, thanks guys. This week we are going to be looking forward to some very bright and sunny days, but I'll have more on that later in the show. But for now, right now for temperatures here in Denton, we are looking at 74 degrees, so a very, very comfortable temperature. Those temperatures are going to continue to rise to the mid to low 80s. So about 3 o'clock is when that high is going to peak around 83 degrees. Let's take a look at tonight. All right, so tonight it's going to be 84 degrees. It's going to warm up a little bit, but that temperature is going to drop. Winds are also going to start picking up tonight, and that's going to continue into tomorrow and the weekend. Let's go and take a look at tomorrow. All right, so tomorrow it's going to feel like 72 degrees, so another beautiful day. And I'll have more on our weekend outlook later in the show. That's all I have. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Emma. The Black Student Union is planning on making big changes for the 2025 to 2026 school year after 2 years of internal shifts and external challenges. Students are ready for BSU to make a difference. ntTV's Aaliyah Burdo had the chance to attend the presidential debate and learn more about what two administrations are planning on doing. Let's take a closer look.
I am here at the Business and Leadership Building right outside the room where the presidential debate for the Black Student Union is taking place.
The future of the Black Student Union at UNT is in the hands of the students. 4 influential leaders are ready to make a difference.
I came into UNT and claimed my spot at BSU. I knew that this was the most prominent organization on campus, and I wanted to be a part of it. And like I stated at time, it was the umbrella. And it was over all of the coalition and stuff like that, so I wanted to be a part of that.
Established in 2011, BSU has thrived at UNT. From fundraising events to fashion shows, BSU was built on a foundation of culture, connection, and community service. But over the past 2 years, BSU has faced internal shifts and external challenges.
I believe BSU is way more than an organization, so I want to make sure that everybody feels involved. And that was something I struggled with when I was a freshman. Feeling accepted as LGBTQ+, as a first gen and everything, so making sure that everyone feels empowered.
2 administrations are campaigning for president and vice president, the Scott Markley administration and the Phoenix administration. Both administrations are focusing on revitalizing BSU and making it feel like home again, but students want to know, what does the change actually look like and who can deliver it?
I want to make sure every organization in our coalition has voice any ideas and concerns that they have about us as an administration or ideas that they want to throw forth last year. But I want to make sure those are heard, and I want to make sure we properly execute that.
As voting opens up, all eyes are on the candidates.
I think that it's very important to connect that bridge and gap and to not only just focus on our freshmen and our seniors, but again, to focus on those middleclassmen. We are so much more than just an organization. We're a community and we need to act like it.
What happens next could redefine what BSU stands for at UNT.
Voting for BSU president and vice president closes today, so don't forget to vote.
When we come back from the break, more on the stock market whiplash in Wall Street.
And have you always wanted to take it to the skies? A perfect opportunity is opening up just for you in North Texas. Stay with us.
I use Flex to buy my favorite snacks.
I use Flex to get me through my mornings.
I use Flex at my favorite campus restaurants. I love how Flex is a cashless payment method and can be used at all campus dining venues.
So, how do you use Flex?
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounced checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break.
No.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
We're both.
Many have been feeling relief after President Trump announced that he will be putting a 90-day pause on most of the tariffs implemented just over a week ago, reducing the universal tariffs down to 10%. In reflection of his actions, the European Union has agreed to put a matching pause on the tariffs that had planned to launch in retaliation. The tariffs would have appealed to over $23 billion worth of American goods, such as aluminum and steel. Only future trade talks will reveal if these will come into effect. The relief that these people are feeling isn't widespread. However, as Trump has not paused but instead increased the amount of tariffs placed on China. Their tariffs now sit at a whopping 125%, as a result of what President Trump claims to be a lack of respect shown by the Chinese government. On top of this, JP Morgan is also still expressing concerns that there is a 60% chance a recession could still hit the United States as a result of the sudden massive fluctuation in the American and global economy. We will keep you updated as the situation changes.
Today, the House is voting on a budget blueprint regarding Medicaid and Social Security cuts. There has been some concern from the Democrats of the House pertaining to the benefits for recipients and what that may mean if this budget plan passes. CNN's Amy Kiley has more on this story.
Hands off Medicaid.
We're not going to cut Medicare, Social Security, or Medicaid.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says his chamber could vote on a budget blueprint today. The Republican plan already has the green light from the Senate, so if the House passes it, it'll likely be the foundation for how the U.S. spends money the next few years. Democrats say they're worried about what it could mean for Medicaid. In fact, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is challenging Johnson to go head-to-head with him in what's called a colloquy.
Mr. Speaker, I'm ready to yield. I'm ready to debate one-on-one on this House floor.
So far, Johnson is not accepting the challenge, but comments from the two leaders yesterday suggest what they might say if he did.
It's an assault on Medicaid, an assault on health care, an assault on nutritional assistance to children and families. It's an assault on older Americans.
Don't believe the lies about that.
The plan asked the House Energy and Commerce Committee to come up with $880 billion in cuts over 10 years. Analysts say it's hard to do that without affecting Medicaid. It provides health care to more than 20% of Americans and foots the bill for most seniors in nursing homes. Republicans say they don't want to eliminate it, but they do want to refine it.
Anybody who's an eligible beneficiary will be protected in this process. But there are a lot of other savings in fraud, waste, and abuse.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
As of an hour ago, the news broke that the budget plan has passed in the House.
After 5 years, a Delaware judge has finally ruled that Newsmax, a conservative cable channel, did defame the Dominion voting company during the 2020 election. This comes after hosts on Newsmax made false claims on the air that Dominion intentionally used their polling machines to switch votes that were put in for President Trump to the Democratic presidential nominee, Joe Biden. Newsmax claims no wrongdoings as they ran a clarification segment in December of the same year that stated they didn't actually have evidence of any of the claims they made. The outcome of this case is now being handed over to jury, who will determine in the trial whether or not the media channel made these claims with actual malice. A similar case that was held against a Fox News result in Fox having to make a settlement with Dominion for almost $800 million.
I'm glad that we can expect more sunny weather. It reminds me that summer is right around the corner.
I'm actually excited for a bit of sunny weather to come around our way. Let's head over to Emma Burns. Maybe she can tell us if our hopes and dreams of spring showers are going to be crushed or not. Emma?
Did I just hear you guys say you were wishing for spring showers? You guys are not going to be in luck this week at all. In fact, we may not see those May flowers anytime soon. I'm just kidding. We might see rain next week, but we'll take a look at this week later on. But for right now, let's take a look across North Texas. We're seeing temperatures warm mid to high 70s, some even into the 80s as we look across the state. All right, so we can see these warm temperatures are keeping everybody a little bit hotter. And as for next week, we're going to keep seeing these temperatures rise. Let's take a look at this. All right, so over the weekend, it's going to continue to warm up into the low to high 80s. But on Sunday, I know you see that high of 92. This is actually going to be the first time that we are seeing temperatures in the 90s this year. So if you love warm weather, that's something to look forward to. Maybe take a trip out to Lake Louisville, Lake Grapevine, and have a good time. But those temperatures are going to start cooling down starting Monday, and then they're going to start bringing back up on Wednesday. But yeah, ladies, like I said, no chance of rain this week, so it is going to be a beautiful week. The only thing to be concerned about are some winds that are going to be picking up Friday night and into Sunday morning, but those are going to calm down as we get back into Monday. That's all I have. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Emma. It's no doubt that women have great contributions and achievement in society. However, we aren't always recognized as we should be.
But luckily, there are different programs and organizations that are shining light on women's achievements. And our segment anchor, Vanessa Nahara, has more to tell us about it. Vanessa?
Thank you, guys. We know throughout history, women are not often recognized for their careers and are downplayed, even in the aviation industry. But thanks to the first women aviation school that's open at Texas Women's University, more women are getting into the program and being recognized in the industry. Our ntTV anchor, Katie Muncie, has the story.
Air travel has become the quickest and safest form of transportation. But as the sky's population continues to rise, so does a gender gap in aviation.
Children, especially when they grow up, they dream about what they see. Like if women see mostly men flying airplanes and females being the flight attendants, they think, oh, I'm going to be a flight attendant. It never occurs to them that they could be a pilot because it's just not something that you see very often.
Women have been operating aircrafts since the early 1900s. During World War II, women were responsible for traveling long distances from factories to military bases, testing newly designed aircrafts, and towing targets with live ammunition. Almost 85 years later, women are still facing heavy discrimination in the aviation field. Luckily, the nation's first female-focused aviation program has just recently opened their doors to students. A school that's located right here in North Texas.
We're sort of breaking the mold, and I think you'll see the numbers increase a little bit. Most numbers, when you look at the number of pilots in the United States, somewhere depending on the time frame that you look at, about 6 to 8% are women, and we want to see that change. We just want them to know that they have that opportunity. So we're trying to kind of break history a little bit.
This program is all hands-on experience. Usually students fly 3 days a week. So they finish up ground school with us. All of our ground schools run in the morning. And so they finish up with us, and then they go out to the airport, and they start flying from really week 1. We put them in an airplane, and they start flying with a flight instructor.
The Doswell School of Aeronautical Sciences provides a well-rounded curriculum for students.
It's a big industry with a lot of different varying skills that are needed. So I would say don't limit yourself. Find out what's out there.
It's expensive and it's hard and it takes a lot of work, but women are resilient. They really are. And especially young girls, if that's what you want to do, you don't have to settle.
With ntTV News, I'm Katie Muncie.
If you're interested and would like to enroll, you can visit the Doswell School of Aeronautical Sciences page on the TWU website. That is all I have. Back for you guys at the desk.
After the break, are you looking for a new place to live? Well, you might just be in luck.
And are you looking for a place to buy your things for this Easter? A new store is headed your way, and it may be closer than you think. Stay with us.
Hey you! Yeah, you. Tax day is right around the corner, and the IRS has free resources to help you. Just visit their website or contact our volunteer income tax program at 800-906-9887. You don't want the IRS knocking at your door. Whew, I guess it's too late for you. Pay now or pay later with interest. File your taxes.
Are you looking for a fun club with travel opportunities? Dive into the UNT Swim Club. Practicing Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Pool Recreation Center. We accept members at any skill level. For more information, reach out to us at unt.swimclub on Instagram.
If you or anyone you know are seeking to buy a home in Texas anytime soon, this may be the break that you're looking for. For the past 2 years, the Texas housing market has not been performing too well, with mortgage and property prices raising through the roof. But this may end up being a good thing for some. With the slowing rate of property sales, home prices have been seeing markdowns in areas of Texas such as Lubbock, Abilene, College Station, Laredo, and Midland in order to bring in more sales.
Did you know that UNT offers help services to people dependent on drugs and alcohol?
No, I didn't, but that's very interesting. You know, there is no shame in reaching out for help when you need it.
Alicia Palacios actually has more on this topic. Alicia?
Thanks, guys. The Collegiate Recovery Program, which is in Chestnut Hall, is open to anyone who needs it. They offer more than just meetings. Staff there offers services to help with schoolwork, housing, and recovery-oriented activities. I went out and talked to a few people to bring awareness to this topic.
April is Alcohol Awareness Month. According to Corporal David Causey,
if we shame, alcoholism or drug use or, anything else, then it's what it causes. It causes people to be less likely to go and get the help they need.
According to the NIAAA, alcohol-related deaths are the leading preventable cause of death in America. This is Chestnut Hall, where you'll find Michael Council, coordinator of the Collegiate Recovery Program in room 301.
I know in college settings specifically, it can be like a rite of passage, and students based on media can believe that alcohol is more prevalent, partying is more prevalent, but actually that is a small percentage.
Right off campus, students have easy access to multiple bars and liquor stores, so it's best for students to be careful with how much they consume.
The biggest thing that we always talk to people about is having a plan. And then once you have that plan, stick with it, because you're going to be making that plan in a sober state of mind.
For recovering alcoholic Caleb Moore, the message is simple.
There are other outlets other than drugs or alcohol in this case specifically that can help you, and when you do drink, it doesn't really make you forget.
For ntTV News, I'm Alicia Palacios.
For anyone looking for help with alcohol dependency, or if you have any questions, email RISE, R-I-S-E, center@unt.edu, or call 940-565-3910. You can also look up UNT Recovery on Instagram to see their scheduled activities. Some are open to the public. That's all I have for you today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Alicia. Now, Easter is right around the corner, and if you're like me, I tend to get my grocery shopping last minute. But if you're also scrambling looking around for what you need to enjoy the holiday, or even just to get through the week, I have some good news for you. As a brand new Target is opening up in North Denton this weekend. This Target is located along University Drive besides the Winco and the new Dick's Sporting Goods, and is available to shoppers as soon as April 13th. The sports world has been quiet, eventful recently, and I wonder what's going on with the Mavs.
Well, Krista, we have our sports anchor Jackson Berry to tell us all about the events that have been happening in the world. Jackson?
That's right, y'all. Luka returned home last night, and the 2028 Olympics is going to be unprecedented history and more after this.
By our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
Welcome back. Last night, Luka Doncic made his highly anticipated return to the Big D last night when the Dallas Mavericks took on the Los Angeles Lakers. Prior to the game, the Mavericks played a special tribute video for him, which moved the Don to tears. However, when the contest kicked off, Luka was all business as he dismantled the Dallas defense, showing Nico Harrison and the Mavericks organization why they should never have traded him. Luka Doncic will go on to finish the game with a monstrous 45 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals on the way to a 112-97 Lake Show victory. And speaking of Nico Harrison, Mavericks fans made their opinions known last night with numerous chants of "Fire Nico" and "Luka" ringing throughout the arena. Take it from someone who was at the game, it was a very unique experience with Mavericks fans being apathetic towards their own squad and openly cheering for the opposing Lakers, and even chanting loudly during Mavericks free throws, which seemed to actually throw off the Mavericks players. Head coach Jason Kidd refused to speak post-game, but Luka did one where he said he loves Mavericks fans and the city of Dallas, but it's time to move on. But with that win, the Lakers clinched the playoff contention, but more importantly, gave Mavericks fans closure. Now moving on to softball, UNT suffered a 6-3 loss to Tarleton State, putting an end to our 6-game winning streak. All of Tarleton's runs came in the first 3 innings, during which relief pitcher Aneka Anderson took the mound and held the Texans off with 4 strikeouts and no hits over the final 3 innings, and only 1 runner allowed on a fielding error. This gave the Mean Green a chance to come back, but despite the hitters' best team efforts, the team was only able to hit half their 3rd inning deficit. The loss brought the softball team to a 28-13 overall record, and their next matchup should be a thriller as they travel to Boca Raton to face the Florida Atlantic, the top team in the AAC. Now, for the first time since 1984, the Olympics are going to be held in the City of Angels, but for the first time in Olympics history, they're going to include more women than men. With the addition of the new mixed gender teams to golf, gymnastics, track, and field, the Olympic playing field will feature 50.5% women. Also included in this expansion, the women's soccer tournament will now feature 16 female teams as opposed to the men's 12. There's been no announcement made on how gymnastics will look in the mixed gender competition, but they will have until next month to finalize the plans. But for now, that's all I have for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jackson. As all of us here at UNT are painfully aware of final exam season that is upon us, and I know me and many others are soon to graduate next month.
Absolutely. College can be incredibly stressful, but if you have any furry friends or cozy critters, your overall mood might be better than your peers. Last week, a study published in the journal Social Indicators Research says that having a cat or dog could improve your mental well-being as much as being married or meeting up regularly with friends or family. The study also found that having a pet could help you feel the same life satisfaction as having more money.
One of the paper's authors said that if pets help us as much as the study suggests, lawmakers should make it more accessible to own them by relaxing regulations that restrict animal-loving renters.
I have 2 love bugs of dogs at home named Duke and Winnie, and they always know how to make me de-stress.
I have 2 goobers at home as well, Hero and Darling, and I learned the other day that Darling loves mac and cheese. She scooped some off my plate and scurried off paw in mouth.
It's so cute. Well, thank you for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight here at 6 at North Texas Television.